finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist.
Ooh, welcome to OrkU, the podcast that's all Avengers all the time. I am the man they know as Z, and I am joined by the usual avenging compatriots of the Noob-Noob.
We're doing Avengers today, guys.
Just look at yourselves. Nobody loves you because of how you look.
Your stores are full of ugly customers.
I feel ugly just talking to you.
Vile.
Gross.
Icky.
Putrid.
Gunky.
Bad looking. Ugly.
I do feel ugly just talking to you. And then there's Scott Keebler.
Yeah, you're right. It's an old school intro, but it still is awesome. So take that.
Yeah, you take that.
Hey,
At least I got
at least
something
you
new.
got a new intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad
You're
looking.
ugly.
Bad looking. All your stores are filled with ugly customers.
Well, you feel ugly every time you look in the mirror, so.
No, I just feel ugly talking to you.
Or every time you look in the mirror, take your shirt off.
That's why I took all the mirrors out of my house.
So we could dispense with the noob-noobery. We can just go straight Avengers. It's it's about that time.
Hold on. We're talking about Avengers today?
Avengers.
I
What?
feel like we might be talking about Avengers for the rest of the month.
Like the
Could be.
Russian Avengers with the bear person that we...
Oh, with the bear machine gun on his back?
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
thing. Did you actually finish watching that?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh,
I couldn't.
come on.
I
How
didn't
could you-
finish
how
watching
could you
that.
not
was
finish
so
that?
Stupid.
Stupid. The dude cut a car in half, and they had a bear with a machine gun on his back.
Sounds
You
pretty
should choose
dope.
your words more carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the countdown pre-game to Endgame.
Half of you will probably have seen the movie by now because everyone's pre-ordered their tickets.
Yes.
I know. I ordered mine 3 weeks ago.
No, Shazbot, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know
I was
when
able to get it pretty early.
I know when they initially opened it up to buy them, they crashed AMC servers, right?
They crashed every server. Yeah, I
Every
tried to buy
server.
tickets and raged because I couldn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Noob-Noob was unable to get his tickets and will be unable to see Avengers Endgame.
Well,
like
that's
it.
not necessarily true. So they the tickets went on sale April 2nd, but they wouldn't say when they were going on sale. And AMC didn't do the best job sending out notifications that tickets went on sale. So I didn't check when I woke up because I didn't get an email from AMC, those pieces of shit.
That's a real shame.
And I was driving into work, and then someone texted me saying they went on sale, and all the sites
Then you
crashed.
crashed your car.
Yeah.
As he was texting while driving.
Oh, I was 100%. So
Police take notice.
spent the first 4 hours of my workday trying to get tickets. Couldn't. Then had to go to Fandango because AMC is a piece of shit. And wait in an hour queue because that was a thing. And got tickets for the second showing of opening night at 10:30. There was one remaining lingering ticket, so I'm going to see it by myself like a true champion. And yeah.
I can tell you out in Amish country, the first showing on Thursday night was sold out
With
very
horses.
quickly with horses.
It's all,
There'll
all
be
horse
all
audience.
horses. It's all horse audience.
A full
Thanos
horse
is just going to
audience.
fist a bunch of horses.
So
Absolutely.
I decided to get out of Amish country finally, and I'm back in the real world. And I'm actually going to be taking Momsies to the noon show
And for a nooner.
for the IMAX 3D experience.
What is this, Star Wars with incest again? I don't understand. Taking his mom to a nooner? It's weird.
Yeah, a noon
Yeah,
movie. What's that?
Seems. Are you going to share pretzel bites?
Maybe. We're gonna
Hey, you better
dip
not
it-
pull the
we're gonna-
popcorn trick
we're gonna
there, Scott.
Dip it in the same cheese sauce.
Oh, wow.
Scott's Ragnarok trick.
This is getting weird.
Nah. That's the one time I will not be pulling the Ragnarok.
Better not be.
Sure.
So pre-sales have broken all expectations. Do you guys think this will be the numero uno movie of all time? Is it possible?
Balanced.
It's going to be the #1 opening weekend for sure. Yeah.
Number one opening weekend ever, beating Star Wars.
As much as it's sold out, it
No,
already is
Endgame beat
opening.
Star Wars. What? Hold on. Let's bring up the
Endgame beat
box
Star
office.
Wars. Endgame
I
didn't
believe
come
it
out
did.
yet.
Oh no, Infinity War. Let's
And Endgame's also beaten Star Wars already.
let us see.
Weekend ever. How are you gonna get ever?
Yes, Daddy.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. So
I don't know what I'm doing now.
all time, right
Hold
there.
on.
There you go.
There we go.
Thing sucks. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Opening weekend. Yes, 257. So it's going to break like 300 million for Endgame probably.
Then how come if you go to the top worldwide, all time is Avatar and Star Wars domestic one
Fuck you. Yeah, that's worldwide ever.
over? Yeah, I'm asking that question.
It's not going to be 2.7 now.
No.
It's going to be front loaded.
How the hell did Avatar?
I don't know. It's
do
not
all
a
that-
good movie.
It's just not even a relevant movie.
It's an okay.
It's not, no one talks about it anymore.
It's a perfectly okay movie, just not great.
It was supposed to be the groundbreaking thing when it came to like the style and look and animation and CGI and everything else.
And Blue
Yeah.
Rabbit's fucking
Story wise, though, not anything special.
no.
Unobtainium. That's all I gotta say.
Unobtainium.
Yes.
Inception
They
was
actually-
clearly better.
They actually made Unobtainium.
Inception was better.
Okay.
For those who think Inception isn't great, Inception was better than Avatar.
Okay.
Just
What's your
saying.
point?
Not a point. Just this.
Who doesn't think Inception is good?
We didn't talk about it adjusted for inflation.
Yeah, certain people don't think Inception's great.
Gone with the Wind.
Wow.
Yeah, Gone. That
basically,
has
so-
horses, right?
If Gone with the Wind was released today, it'd be up there.
Was that like Seabiscuit, but the original? I don't know. What was Gone with the Wind? Was that in Kansas?
No.
No, I
That
don't
was
know.
Gone with the Wind.
That would be Wizard of Oz.
Well, that was in Oz, not Kansas.
Gone with the Wind has nothing to do with Kansas.
What is the premise of Gone with the Wind?
It has to do with like a returned Civil War general coming back to like his homestead or something.
That sounds boring. As
Really? You have no idea what Gone with the Wind was?
No. Was there wind and they were gone like Gone Girl?
with music.
That's also not Gone with the Wind.
That sounds
I don't
horrible.
What keeps down? Is everything just
Stop.
downloading
That was
here?
stuff I was downloading.
Scott,
from earlier
you're
that
not
finally
popular enough
released.
to get these many text messages
You're
while we're
not.
on air.
It's just
Technically,
Downloading.
it's a 1939 American historical romance film.
Sounds really stupid.
It's the backdrop is the American Civil War and the Reconstruction era.
Nobody
tells
cares.
the story of Scarlett O'Hara, strong-willed daughter of a Georgia plantation owner.
Not Scarlett Johansson,
No,
who
Well,
was in
we-
Avengers.
we definitely took a sideways turn with this.
We did, really.
well, hey,
We stopped talking
they were
about,
avenging the South,
we
so
stopped
I'm
talking
pretty
about
sure
Avengers.
They
were-
had an end game in mind.
they definitely had an end game in mind while they were avenging themselves.
Back to so Endgame is destroying pre-sale records. It's gonna beat Infinity War most likely. It's definitely in China, which is another major market, probably even bigger potentially than the U.S.
Mostly.
It's destroying their Infinity War pre-sale records right now. So it's gonna be massive. Definitely gonna be number one overall all time on the weekend box office. Don't know about all time ever.
Destiny arrives
Because for some reason, people just kept going to see Avatar. I don't understand, but they did.
Okay, well,
So,
I don't know. I
yeah.
never saw it in the theater, so I was not one of those
I
people.
don't think I did either.
Yeah.
I want to say people would see Endgame more than Avatar because there's a certain theory that involves anuses and buttholes.
There is the most entertaining of theories of how this will all
How
end.
did this all start again?
I mean, it's
How did it
logical,
start?
really.
I think there was like an internet meme, and then Josh Brolin got involved because he took offense to the internet meme because he
And
said
started
he was,
having, but then he started having fun with it.
What he did really take offense. He was just
Yeah.
like preparing for Endgame, and he was like strengthening
he did
his
that, yeah.
butthole on
And he
the
was
toilet.
pooping. And now it's turned into a song.
It's now in song form.
I'm gonna get real small and crawl inside your butthole. Crawl inside your butthole, butthole, butthole. I'm gonna get real small and crawl inside your butthole. Crawl inside your butthole, butthole, butthole. Yo, let me ask you
What the fuck?
It's gonna get real small. He's talking about Ant-Man.
So yeah, so that's 4 minutes. That song is 4 minutes
You
long.
should get to the grow part at least. Where am I gonna grow?
You
And
know,
grow.
you know what
And
I never
grow,
thought
and grow, and
about
grow.
with everyone saying. Okay.
Go ahead.
So people keep thinking like Ant-Man can just shrink and go subatomic and go inside of his anus and expand. But what if Thanos' anus is so strong and readily prepared that it won't expand and he crushes Ant-Man inside of
That's
his
why
anus?
Josh Brolin's been working.
Yeah. So that's a realistic possibility. So it's creepy.
It just keeps growing.
Yeah. But Josh Brolin has been training for this moment,
He has.
and
So you think he'll defeat the Ant-Man?
I 100% do.
Why would they leave Ant-Man out to have him specific to their plans if he wasn't going to crawl inside that butthole?
Yeah, but it's going to be a really dramatic moment when he goes inside the butthole and then just gets destroyed by Thanos' anus.
Thanos is tight.
Brick-walled anus.
Who did that song?
Hey guys, I'm inside. It's dark in here.
It's time for me to grow.
It's darker than I expected. It's purple though. It's really clean. I mean, I give him credit. It's really clean.
Oh, Jesus.
He must wash
Cleanse.
out. He must cleanse. All right, are you guys ready? All right, I'm gonna expand.
Is that Thanos tight clenching his butt?
It didn't work.
Yeah.
I tried to expand. It didn't work. I'm still small.
So
His butthole clenched.
Punch down on me.
if you want to find
here.
that song,
Hi guys.
Who the heck did that song?
That was
Some internet guy?
Some internet guy. It was where'd it go? Where'd it
Monkey
go? Where'd it
Bone?
go? Damn it! I lost others. Monkey. Yeah, I think it was Monkey Bone. No, Bone Cage.
Bone Cage.
Bone Cage. One word.
Google
Bone Cage. BONECAGE.
butthole song.
It's on your video streaming service. Ant-Man vs. Thanos. Butthole song. Get Small by Bone Cage. So we'll give him credit, of course.
Enjoy that song if you want to buy
That's
it
what I'm
off
saying.
them internet.
It's 4 minutes long. It's
Four and a
4
half?
minutes of getting inside your butthole. Butthole.
Just over and
Butthole.
over and over again. What else are we looking forward to? So we've crushed that theory.
Yeah, I don't really know if there's anywhere to go from there, but apparently there's a Thanos copter, and
That's what I'm looking forward to.
and Deadpool's involved.
Yes, I want to see the Thanos copter.
Yeah.
I
There is
can't
a
wait.
petition. People have gotten, what is it, Reddit? Probably.
Reddit and change.org is where the petition is going on.
So they have this petition in order they want Marvel to incorporate the Thanos copter into Endgame somehow.
I mean, it seems logistics like it would fit
It could happen.
into the overall story.
100%. You know, maybe Thanos is on his farm, and before negotiations, like he starts to feel a little bit of tension with the negotiations that are happening, and he flees from his farm and escapes in the Thanos copter.
Yeah. Or Ant-Man works his anus a little too hard. I mean, he still beats Ant-Man by shitting him out, but you know, his anus is a little tender, so he doesn't want to fly or transport or anything, so he takes the Thanos copter to brunch or something.
I mean, the Thanos copter is as dumb as it sounds.
It really is.
It's literally a dumb-looking helicopter.
It's yellow.
Yellow, and it says Thanos on the side.
It's literally a Thanos copter.
There's no other. It's like, I wonder if Family Guy took that from, because there's like a Peter copter joke where maybe the Thanos copter has something to do with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you on board the Thanos copter. Please remember to put your seats in an upright position,
Clench your butthole.
clench your butthole, and strap yourselves in. Should half of you make it to your destination, we'd like to thank you again. The other half, just remember, it's for a better cause.
Yes. And somehow this has something to do with Deadpool. Like Deadpool's has some sort of connection to the Thanos copter.
It's in the comic. The Thanos copter and Deadpool appear at the same time in the Thanos copter.
For some
and I
reason.
believe it's in a Spider-Man series that it actually happens.
Interesting. So where is Deadpool in all of this exactly? Now that he has joined the ranks of Disney,
He could technically appear.
some jackhole made an internet thing.
Yeah, it
not
sucked.
Ryan Reynolds.
It was stupid as hell.
Yeah, but the best part was when he got shot in the head with an arrow.
Yeah, that's always funny. Getting shot in the head with an arrow is always funny.
They put Deadpool into the Endgame trailer, and it was mildly amusing.
The Dead Game trailer.
Is that what they called it?
The End Pool trailer.
No.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they called it.
The Dead
that.
End Pool Game trailer.
Wrong again.
Deadpool.
Me helpy.
You helpy.
It was a little
Me
Yeah, but
helpy.
there you go. That was clear.
there you go. But in terms of getting prepared for Endgame, I feel like there's a certain order you need to watch everything in, and the internet helps with those things.
Thank you for the internet because it does help you. With
Well, there are
tons of
21 movies to keep track of at this point.
There's a lot, mostly not relevant to Endgame. Probably.
Aren't there 5 essential movies?
In the butt, I said what? In the butt, I said what? In the
Also
butt,
essential.
You wanna do it in my butt? In my butt, you wanna do it in my butt? In my butt, you wanna do it in my butt? In my butt, let's do it in the butt. Okay.
Have you ever heard this before?
I have.
Noob-Noob.
Well, in South Park.
And, that's the Ant-Man version.
That's the Ant-Man version?
No,
heard the
that's
South Park version.
that's what Ant-Man's going to be singing.
Yes, he will. So what's the order there, Scott?
So the order is
I said what? In the butt. I said what?
Butters.
In
That's
the
your
butt.
order.
I said what? In the butt. I said what? In the butt. You wanna
Ant-Man
do it
in
my
the butt.
In my butt.
Ant-Man in the butt. All right, so the order, if you want to watch it, and this is a 80-hour long marathon.
Weren't they going to pay someone $1,000 to watch all of them?
I think I remember seeing something like the one movie theater was actually going to marathon the entire thing, ending with Endgame.
Interesting.
So getting up to this point, you have
That's actually almost exactly the same amount of time it would take you to watch the extended versions of Lord of the Rings.
actually probably is
I'm pretty sure those are like 4 or 5 hours long, and there's 3 of them, so it's pretty close.
pretty damn close.
Pretty close.
All right, Captain America, the first Avenger, of course, followed by Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk. You don't need to watch that.
Sure do. At the end,
Yeah,
Captain
just because
Thunderbolt.
there's the little secret at the end.
I just watched the end. Well, yeah, the spoiler
As
where
long as you watch the spoiler, you're good.
Tony puts together the Avengers.
Yeah. So Hulk, then Thor, then Avengers Assemble.
That's what they're calling the first movie now, right?
That's what they're calling the first movie, correct?
Which is weird because I've never heard it referenced as Avengers Assemble. I just thought it was the Avengers.
I guess they have to give it some sort of title in order to avoid confusion because you do have another one later on.
Yeah.
So Avengers Assemble, then Iron Man 3. So now all the Iron Mans are done. Then Thor, The Dark World, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Guardians of the Galaxy 2. You just marathon those 2 back to back. Avengers Age of Ultron, your second Avengers.
Well, that one was always titled Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I was always entitled that. And then following that will be Ant-Man, and then Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then, of course, the 21st movie in this series, The Avengers Infinity War. And that is
Where was
what
Spider-Man
will
in
prep
all
you
that?
up. Spider-Man Homecoming was 18, behind Black
okay.
Panther and before Ragnarok.
Trees and crackers. See, I couldn't even keep track of all of them.
Yeah.
So many movies.
How expensive is that box set going to be when this thing's done?
Oh, man.
You're talking 22 movies.
Yeah, but don't they sell like...
It's going to be
I don't know, like The Simpsons and
$5,000.
Friends and all those like DVD box sets. Like, wouldn't that be like $100?
It'll be, well, depending on how many movies it is. It's going to
20?
be $500,000.
Yes, almost as expensive as the tickets I tried to scalp to Noob-Noob.
Yeah.
$500,000.
People were actually selling tickets for $5,000 to Endgame. People were scalping and trying to resell tickets to Endgame.
Even though you could just sell them, like you just wait a day or two.
Yeah,
Or just take off work.
pretty much.
So yes, let's incorporate the Thanos copter, and that's the order. Isn't there only like 5 movies that you're supposed to see though, like that you need to see to understand it?
It depends on who you talk to. There's the theory that all you really need to see are just 2 movies: Civil War and then Avengers: Infinity War.
That wouldn't make any damn lick of sense, because how would you even know what the Avengers were?
Well, Civil War is the Avengers are already around, but that's kind of what led to the split. That was the beginning of Infinity War. So that's kind of the theory behind that. You only need to really watch those 2 to get by.
How would you know who Doctor Strange was?
I guess that's minimalistic.
Because Doctor Strange isn't that important.
If you either already know all the characters,
Or the Guardians
you're
of the Galaxy.
or you're not interested in the characters, then that's minimalistic.
Minimalistic.
Yes.
Minimal biscuit.
You heard what I said.
I like minimal biscuits.
I know what I said. I
It's a
said
lot
it.
of carbs.
Minimal biscuits.
Minimal biscuits. But no, I mean, I guess you'd have to see the first Iron Man, because that's the one that opened this whole thing up, right?
Not really.
Well, I mean, that's the one that started this whole journey.
I mean, it did, but it's not really relevant to the
So-
overall.
So Avengers Assemble, of course, because
Yeah.
then you have how they get together. At least one of the Guardians movies. So theoretically,
One's
the first Guardians.
One's smarter than...
So the
like,
first,
one makes more sense than 2,
yeah.
right?
Well, the first Guardians also assembles the Guardians, so you know how they get together. Mm-hmm. Civil War, you have to see.
Yeah, Civil War you would have to see for sure.
So there's 3.
Because that introduces Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Yes. And then what?
And just enough of Wakanda for you to kind of get like what's going on.
Yeah.
Is Captain Marvel.
I don't think really need to see Captain
Marvel's
Marvel.
very irrelevant to Endgame.
Other than she just shows up.
Other than creating the character.
And they're like, oh, who's this chick?
Yeah,
and
I mean-
they're the same way. They're like, who's this chick?
Yeah, and they're going to do, and the special scene at the end of Captain Marvel is going to appear in Endgame again. You're going to see a repeat of that,
Yeah.
which they have done before. They did the end scene in one movie was in another movie.
What about like all the gems? Yeah, you'd have to see Guardians, because Guardians explains all the Infinity Stones.
Yes, that's where you start to realize that there are more Infinity Stones, stuff like that. The Tesseract you learn about early on, but
That's Captain America.
yeah. So you'd have to do that.
The Sassafras.
So yeah, I guess there's a couple movies that you'd have to see, but
Not too many. It's not like you,
you
need
don't have
to
to go
see.
through the whole universe.
Do you really need to see Ant-Man? Not really.
Not really.
trying to think what else.
Not really, because even
Spider-Man is not really relevant to it because he gets introduced in Civil War.
Yeah, he pops up there,
And Ant-Man's in Civil War also.
Yeah, Spider-Man gets introduced in Civil War, and then his next relevant thing that he does is in Infinity War. So you can skip Homecoming.
Yeah, which you did.
Oh, I finally watched it later on.
Did you enjoy
see it. I did enjoy. I did
it's a
like
good
it.
movie.
I finally got a cable package that allowed me to watch it without having to pay extra money,
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it.
Marvel doesn't seem to really screw movies up that bad.
Yeah, and you'll soon be able to see them all on the Disney network.
Ah, yes, Disney Plus. So, okay, well, those are all very relevant things. I don't know, what else is there?
There's not much. We're actually gonna bring on some guests to go over some
Guests.
some
We love
details
guests.
about
Guests!
Avengers. We're gonna pregame the Endgame with some friends.
With some friends.
Yeah. We've actually brought them on before, so it's
What episode? If you're looking,
Who's there?
episode Bumblefuck.
guess
Who
it was.
knows?
I told you it was episode 51.
I don't listen to what you say.
Well, what I say is
obviously.
important.
You need to listen to half of this episode we've been doing so far. You've been on your phone the whole time.
I was actually prepping, sending messages to our friends.
You don't have any friends.
You don't have
Piece of
friends.
shit. Listen, Mr. White Socks. Who the hell wears white socks? What kind of disappointment of a person wears white socks? Piece of shit.
I'm not wearing underwear. You're not giving me a hard time about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
what's
because
up
your
with
dick's
that?
so small no one can notice.
Ballin'.
Oh boy, Tom Petty, rest in peace. He's dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he died.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreak Kids. Is that a
No.
thing? Heartbreakers.
Yes.
Heartbreakers. Okay. Yeah. So our first guest is going to be Elliot from Movie Files. So we're going to bring him on and we're going to ask him some sensual questions about Endgame and see his thoughts. It'll be fun. Hey, Elliot. We got Elliot from Movie Files on here. Great guy on Instagram, does a bunch of fantastic reviews. Also has a YouTube channel at Movie Files. Check it on YouTube and Instagram. So we're going to lead in with some questions about Endgame. We're going to see his thoughts. And we got our first one is, Elliot, what do you think your top 5 Marvel movies are?
Top 5. So for me, guys, this is a tough question because I love all the MCU films, and so there are some that I watch more than others. But after watching Captain Marvel most recently, I kind of readjusted my top 5. So here you go. Here I'll do from 5 to 1. So number 5 for me, I have to go with Captain America: Civil War, which is. But number 1, Captain America, his trilogy is probably, in my opinion, the best trilogy in the MCU so far. And capping it off, his trilogy with having all the Avengers. I know some people call it Avengers 2.0, but I still think there's a through line and an arc that we get with Captain America's story. But I just love the integration of Spider-Man coming to the MCU for the first time, Black Panther, and obviously kind of finishing up that Bucky storyline and just getting all the amazing action scenes that we get at the airport scene and Ant-Man coming in the mix. So that's definitely my number 5. Love that film. Number 4 for me has to be Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember just falling in love with that film, first time seeing it at the theater and just loving the soundtrack, loving the fact that in the movie I care for a talking raccoon in a tree that says, "I am Groot." Love Guardians of the Galaxy is number 4. Number 3 for me has to be Black Panther. The movie made all the money in the world, but also culturally speaking, it was a film that impacted the world globally. That was a big thing for me. And also just a great story and being introduced to the whole Wakanda and what it had leading to Avengers Infinity War. So I love Black Panther. Number 2, which was my number 1 for a very long time until my number 1 came out, but Captain America: Civil War was my number 1 film for a while. It's number 2 now, but I love how we get a kind of a psychological, political thriller in the MCU, and that really is the film that kind of set the MCU on its head with the reveal of Hydra and everything kind of falling apart with S.H.I.E.L.D. So I love what we get in that movie. And again, Captain America is my favorite Avenger, and I thought that the Russo brothers coming into the MCU for the first time established him as a badass, and I love what we get with Scarlet Witch and everything that we get with that film. So Captain America is number 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier, and then number 1, without a doubt, Avengers Infinity War. I watch that film probably once a week. I absolutely love it from beginning to the end. I remember few films that I remember what the theater experience was, and I just remember sitting there with my jaw on the floor once we get that the Thanos snap at the end. And I love how the Russos were able to, not everyone had screen time, but they were able to give all of our favorite characters a moment or two on the screen. And probably my favorite moment in the MCU thus far is Thor, Rocket, and Groot landing on Wakanda. One of my favorite scenes to date. So that's definitely my number 1 as far as my top 5 for MCU films.
So you're still watching Infinity Wars once a week, even now?
Yeah, I am not exaggerating. I love Infinity War. I have such a fun time with it, and I can still, even today, that's a full year ahead of it coming out last year, I still find little things that I missed out on the previous viewing. So I just absolutely love Infinity War.
And you mentioned that you love the music in Guardians of the Galaxy, and
yeah,
they probably, from my recollection, it was the first movie to really do something like that with these classic songs. Do you think that was probably what made the Guardians what it was, or was it also the characters on top of it?
It was a mixture of both things. Because I think what James Gunn did for the MCU with that music, the music was a character within itself, so to add an extra layer of my enjoyment to the movie, because those songs incorporated, kind of played into the characters and played into the moments on the screen that we saw. And then, of course, you have the characters that we got, a group of unmisfit people that don't necessarily belong together or work well together. But again, seeing James Gunn bring these characters together, introducing Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Drax, all the characters that we love now, I thought he did a great job. And it's kind of a side note, but I'm so glad that we got James Gunn coming back to finish his trilogy, because I think Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is definitely one of my favorite films from the MCU thus far.
Very cool, bub.
Yeah, so this is kind of a side note. I don't remember if I asked this the last time you were on. I don't think I did. But what would you think is the better ending for Avengers Infinity War?
You and your stupid
You're
snap.
still an idiot.
Yes, I'm smarter than you. But anyway, so the ending that happened, or what if it ended right at the snap and then cut to black? What would be the better and more impactful ending?
A good question. I think I'm pretty satisfied with the ending that we got. We saw what the Avengers was, and hearing Captain America, who didn't have that many lines in the film, but all his lines were pretty impactful. Him just sitting there in the dust of Bucky and just says, "Oh God," and then we cut to Thanos on wherever he is in the planet. If you follow the comics, I can't remember the planet, but I know he's, obviously Farmer Thanos at this point. I love that we see him wounded, but he sits down and just smiles. He does exactly what he said he's going to do at the beginning of the film, which he accomplished his goal. So I love the ending that we did get with Infinity War. But if we would have got a snap to, after the snap and then cut to black, I don't know how I would have felt about that ending, because that definitely would have been, one of the biggest cliffhangers of all time. But I'm pretty satisfied with the ending that we got with Infinity War.
I think, too, Elliot, the one thing that I noticed, this is Z, was that, like you said, the impact in the theater was something I really don't think I've ever come across, where they have that whole scene of everybody essentially fading to dust, and it's everybody in the theater is just gasping, and like they're all like, is a huge intensity there, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, and it was pretty exciting. So I'm pretty happy with the way it ended. It
really is not that often that you get an entire theater to react the same exact way like that. Normally it'd be one or two people, but it was a collective across a theater audible gasp.
Yes. Yes, and I can remember now, not that I didn't flat out cry, but I got a little teary-eyed when Spider-Man and Iron Man had their moment where they built their relationship obviously, and then Civil War and Homecoming, and then seeing Peter just looking at Tony and not wanting to go. That was a pretty emotional moment. And also Groot and Rocket, Groot, I guess it came out later down the road, the Russo brothers translated, Groot was saying dad or something like that to Rocket. So really, really emotional moments.
Yeah, no, I like both endings, but I don't like that you didn't agree with me, so we're no longer friends, and you're added to the long list of reasons I have trust issues. So we're going to move on to the next question, which is Disney Plus, which just got mainstream announced with all the content this past week. Yeah. Do you think all their Marvel-related news kind of spoiled anything with Avengers Endgame coming out?
Well, first off, the Disney Plus programming is, to me, I'm super excited, and that price of $6.99 is it's crazy. But does it spoil Endgame? I guess they haven't really said the synopsis of these shows. We have Loki, WandaVision, Bucky and Falcon, and Hawkeye. So it can be a pre-Infinity War, maybe pre-Endgame, or, I guess it could obviously lead to the aftermath of some of these characters, because, again, I guess we haven't officially got a synopsis, so it really depends on, obviously we want to see what happens next in a couple of weeks with Endgame, but I don't think it gives too much away, because they haven't said where this timeline is. Plus, we don't know, for the movie realm, we don't even know where Far From Home takes place. Is it after Infinity War? Is it after Endgame? So, as long as they, in Feige, I trust. Feige is going to be more hands-on with the television side of Disney Plus than he was with the ABC shows, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff. So if he has his handprint on these shows, I fully believe in him. Whatever he decides to do, I'm on board.
Yeah, I would say I got to think at least one of those 4 shows have to take place after Avengers. It'd be weird if all of them took place either before or interluding Avengers. That'd be kind of weird.
Right. Well, there's been a bunch of theories out there that we might get different dimensions. So maybe we have one dimension where certain Avengers survive, and the other dimension we have Spider-Man and Black Panther and Doctor Strange never does it. So we'll see in less than 2 weeks where this world is after Endgame.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to probably subscribe. WandaVision is really a dumb name, but I'll kind of go with it.
That is one of the dumbest names. I agree with you. That name is very, very interesting. But for $6.99, that is a steal to get all the content we're going to be getting from Marvel as well as all the other Disney properties.
Yeah, for
Agreed.
sure. I'm one of those 4 is definitely going to be a hit. I mean, if they hit 2 of 4, that's definitely a win. So I'm not expecting everyone to be a home run, but you're definitely getting good content there.
I am subscribed to a subscription right now. It's called WandaVision, and oddly enough, it is $6.99 an hour. Very different kind of content, though. So I mean, I enjoy that. So I mean, I'm not too scared about what's coming.
For sure.
Fair enough.
And there's Scott with a porn reference. Anyway, our last one we're going to go with is looking forward. So how do you feel the future of Marvel with all their acquisitions with Fox and everything after Endgame? What do you think is going to happen, their next 5-year plan and even forward from that?
Yeah, no, great question, man. I think, I mean, obviously the next big movie after Endgame is, and it's supposed to wrap up Phase 4 is Spider-Man. So after that, I think it's pretty safe to say Black Widow is going to probably be the first film out of the gate in 2020, 2021 maybe, which the cast so far is shaping up to be pretty good with David Harper and Rachel Weisz and I believe, Florence Pugh is cast in the film. So I think Black Widow is going to be a film that we can expect to see pretty soon, which I'm excited for. She finally gets her movie. We have The Eternals, which I know Angelina Jolie was potentially being brought up to be a big character in that movie. I know nothing about The Eternals, which is cool by me because I knew nothing really about the Guardians, and they're one of my favorite characters now. So excited to see what we'll be getting this cosmic realm with Eternals. And then obviously I think we got some sequels that's going to probably be hitting the screen with Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, Ant-Man probably finishing up his trilogy. And then from there, I mean, that's 3-4 years there. And I can imagine we probably, I believe there was the Chin-Chi series or movie that they're talking about doing, which I'm not familiar with Chin-Chi, but I always love Marvel kind of adding some diversity to the lineup and adding new things to the mix. So that's going to be something new and exciting. And from there, I think, Kevin Feige said it himself. He has a 5-year plan mapped out, minus the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. So I think 5 years sounds like a lot of time, but we have so many movies that I just kind of listed off there. I think we're going to have plenty of time to enjoy the MCU and then just be kind of smacked in the face once we get X-Men and Fantastic Four into the MCU soon.
Here's a question for you, Elliot. Do you feel that with him kind of saying he's burying the X-Men for a couple years, do you think it is a good idea to put some distance between them and the Fox material and allows them to totally reboot and get new cast and new everything? Do you like that idea? How do you feel about that?
Personally, I'll be honest, I love the idea. Yes, I love the X-Men and everything they have to offer. And granted that, the last iteration, and we still have another X-Men movie coming, or at least 2 more under the Fox branding with New Mutants and Dark Phoenix. But, I enjoyed those series, but I think 5 years is probably a good enough time to kind of let those series kind of die down. And again, we're going to get so much content, not only on the big screen, but on the small screen. I'm just talking about Disney Plus. So I think 5 years is a well enough time to plant the seeds and maybe not necessarily introduce the X-Men or Fantastic Four, but having little Easter eggs of, the school for the mutants and having, in the background, the Baxter of the Fantastic Four's headquarters in the background. So I think they're going to probably plant some seeds and have some name drops. And like I said, in 5 years, it's going to probably go by so fast. And who knows, they might accelerate their plans. So I remember when they got Spider-Man, when it was rumored that he was going to be part of the MCU, and they readjusted their whole lineup. Captain Marvel got pushed back, Black Panther got pushed back, and they were able to implement Spider-Man into the Civil War storyline, obviously get his movie out. So things could change, but for me personally, if it's 5 years before we get X-Men and Fantastic Four, I'm okay with that.
But is 5 years really going to be enough after the shit show that Dark Phoenix is going to be? I think in 5 years...
that movie is shaping up, yeah.
I think in 5 years, we're still going to be disappointed. I mean, we're still pissed about Fantastic Four's last iteration, and that was how many years ago?
Right, with Josh Trank, what was that, 2015 or 2016? It wasn't, it seems like it was, So I think, 5 years, that's plenty enough time to kind of wash away the Dark Phoenix saga and the Bryan Singer verse and every movie. I love Hugh Jackman, but I mean, literally the X-Men was revolved around Wolverine. So it would be good to see new cast, and a new spin on the X-Men. So I think 5 years is long enough time.
Well, I'll tell you what, bud, and I hope, God willing, in 5 years' time, we can sit here, talk to you, and say, I was right.
Yeah.
5 years was not enough.
For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised too. I mean, I doubt that they'll do this, but I mean, again, we just talked about Disney Plus. That's a perfect platform to maybe have a smaller character from the X-Men, maybe a Jubilee or a Rogue, and have a show of theirs. And maybe it's a weird concept to think of a show leading to a movie, but we know the landscape of TV is. I mean, we got Game of Thrones this Sunday, one of the biggest things on the world right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe have a show centered around an X-Men character or a Fantastic Four character, and then lead into a film. That's not out of the realm of possibilities.
It is fast that you say Jubilee, because there's a lot of people that are still pissed off about what they did with her character in the movies.
Oh yeah, 2 seconds on the screen is definitely not well justice for a character of that stature, for sure.
Okay. And just one final quick follow-up finale question. Do you think that they should incorporate, if they did or didn't, a very end credit scene of Deadpool doing like a fourth wall break, being like, why the fuck wasn't I involved in this sooner, kind of thing?
For Endgame?
Yes.
No, that would, cause if everything, trust me, I love Ryan Reynolds, I love Deadpool and everything he has to offer. But if everything is said to be true, a 3-hour epic film, we're going to lose some of our favorite superheroes. Yes, it would be nice to walk out of the theater with a smile, but I think that would just suck the levity out of the theater if we have that moment with a Deadpool saying something like that. I would prefer, if we do get an end credit scene, which I think they're saying that there may or may not be one, which would be weird, but if they do a post-credit scene, I would probably prefer to see something a little bit, maybe paying tribute to the character that we lost, or even a tribute to Stan Lee or something of that nature versus, again, I would love to see, I can't wait to see Deadpool in this universe, but I would keep Deadpool away from Endgame as much as possible just so he doesn't, take away all the levity and all the seriousness and the emotion that we might get in this finale and Endgame.
Yeah, I really think ending it with the Endgame would have been just as stupid as ending it on the snap.
I think like you said, Stan Lee tribute would be nice too. So let's, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we're less than 2 weeks away. I can't believe it's almost here. It's crazy.
Yeah, so we're also looking to replace Scott on the podcast with his previous comments. So if you're looking to join, we're more than welcome to take on a more supportive role than Scott, who's just a failure at life. But yeah, no, that's...
Did you guys get your tickets? I forgot to ask, did you guys have your tickets? You seen it opening night?
I had some inner turmoil and rage during the first day of tickets, but I got them for the second showing on Thursday at 10.
Gotcha.
And I got mine the next day, the noontime showing, so I'm just going to turn off all social media for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
And I'll see it whenever I feel like it, which is anytime I want, so...
Whenever it's available. Watch it on Disney Plus when it comes out.
Yeah.
No, I'll see it like that weekend, just whenever I feel like it.
Yeah, Z lives a life of disappointment, so
Of
he's
just
used to it.
luxury, so I can just order a plane to fucking drop it in my house.
Yeah, well, it's a matter of when the butler decides to show up to drive him to the theater.
Exactly.
There you go.
But yeah, I think that's about all we have for the Avengers questions. So again, thank you so much, Elliot, for coming on. Again, if anyone who is listening doesn't know Elliot, he is Movie Files at Movie Files on Instagram and also at Movie Files on YouTube.
Subscribe.
And Elliot, if you want to say anything, plug anything, take your chance. Feel free. Plug whatever you would like with your channel.
Yeah, no, guys, I appreciate having me on. Again, I have such a blast talking to you guys about anything Marvel, anything that we love having these conversations with you guys. So, yeah, as they had mentioned, you can follow us at Movie Files on Instagram and Twitter, and we're also on YouTube at Movie Files. We do movie reviews, TV reviews, unboxing videos, and so much more, so definitely check us out. But again, guys, I appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to being back on in the future.
Thanks, Elliot.
And I do want to thank you for our new catchphrase, "In Foggy We Trust."
In Foggy We Trust, yes. Have a tattoo on my chest.
Awesome.
All right, and we'll look forward to catching up with you after Avengers to see what your thoughts are and kind of catch up after that, all right?
Awesome. Can't wait, guys.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Elliot.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Well, he dropped a lot of knowledge on us there.
That he did. And in Feige we trust.
Yeah, he had a lot of insight. I like how he talked about the next 5 years and where things are going with that.
Which I think, actually, Noob-Noob, you probably should also get that tattoo on your chest to match, right underneath where you have his name.
Yeah. What? Wait, whose name?
Elliot.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm going to get just a circular nipple motion right around the nipples.
There you go.
They're very tiny. They're not ghost nipples, though, because you can get some color to them.
I'll get some color to them. Come here.
Yeah.
So don't we have
No, that's not the nipple. Nope. Down, right, left. Oh, there we go. Oh, fuck! Shit! Motherfucker.
That's called a titty twister.
Wow, that's a pinch right there. Jesus
So
Christ.
why don't we...
That's some strong fingers.
We have another guest, correct?
Yes, we have Midlevel Movie Reviews, who is fantastic and loves Dragon Ball Z in every way.
From what I remember.
Not from what I remember.
I don't want to say he masturbates to Goku doing push-ups, but I'm pretty sure he does. He's sexually thrilled by it. Yeah, so Kenny from Midlevel Movie Reviews. He's fantastic, loves Dragon Ball Z for sure. Definitely appreciates all the push-ups.
I already hate him.
And we're going to go into some Avengers stuff, because Avengers is coming out very soon. Actually, if you're listening, it's already out. So
If you're listening right now, half of you have seen it. The other half is not there anymore.
yes. And if any of you listening have not followed Kenny from Midlevel Movie Reviews, you should go to Instagram and follow at Midlevel Movie Reviews, because he's awesome and has much more followers than us. So if you're listening, you probably already follow. And if you don't, then you probably suck at life. But follow him anyway, because he's the best. Anyway, so Kenny, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, guys. It's good to be back. I know it's been a little bit, about 8 months.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I like you again.
I do, however, like the Paranormal Activity franchise and the movie Us. So,
Wow.
I like you even more now because you disagree with everything Noob-Noob likes.
Okay. So this is all right. So we got a 3-pronged attack here. First off, fuck you for not liking Dragon Ball Z. Second, fuck you for liking us. Third, I already forget what you said. Fuck you for just fuck you. Piece of shit.
It was Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. How do you like Paranormal Activity? What the fuck? Like, did you do too many drugs in your teen years? I don't understand. Why the fuck?
I don't know, man. I think it's destined to be a horror classic on the same level as The Exorcist.
Oh,
I think that someday we're gonna look back and we're gonna see that movie as like The Exorcist, The Shining, Halloween. You wait.
I hope one of these days I can play that back for you, and you can either be proven right or wrong.
I'll be proven right.
Immediate constipation. I have.
It's a groundbreaking film.
Wow. I am more compacted than when my uncle got a little too deep in my younger years. Kenny, I thought we were going to be best friends, but not anymore.
Look at how far you've thrown him off. This is amazing. I love when someone else is able to screw up the Noob-Noob because it's something I revel in.
Yeah.
Hey, are you guys there?
Yes.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
I got disconnected for y'all for a second.
Okay, can you still hear us?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to get into our Avengers stuff. So first one is a heavy-hitting question. Who do you think is the hottest Avenger?
It's a tough one. My gut instinct goes with Chris Hemsworth on Thor.
Yes, thank you.
But I'm going to have to go Steve Rogers, Chris Evans.
What? Hold on.
I think...
Now, hold on now. Did you see Chris Hemsworth Instagram post? The way that back arches? Scrumptious.
Here, hold on. Hear me out for a second. Have you seen Not Another Teen Movie?
I have.
The whipped cream bikini.
For sure, the whipped cream bikini.
So, I think he wins based on that alone.
I think this conversation went in a direction that nobody expected it to.
Now, hold on. Let's throw a wrench into this. What if Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans scissored while covered in whipped cream, wrestling with snakes?
What?
I don't know about that, but that sounds like a Saturday night party to me.
I don't know if this is the type of speculation I can be a part of.
I think you can be a part of it, and you're probably sexually aroused, but you're not man enough to admit it. Whereas I'm fully erect, but it's not big enough to show my pants.
I think we need to go through to question 2.
Yeah.
Can we move to question 2?
Oh, God. This has gotten way out of hand. Yeah, so question 2. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, what do you expect? No, fuck that question. Let's go to that. We'll do that at the end. So, would you have preferred no trailer at all for Endgame, as opposed to the substantial, more spoilery trailers that they have released as time goes on?
I was always of the mind that I don't think they should have had a trailer at all.
Agreed.
I definitely watched it when it came out. I was excited to watch it, but I didn't need it. And I don't think they needed one. I think that everybody that left the theater after seeing Infinity War would have showed back up for Endgame regardless. They slap a poster, give us a little poster, give us a title. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all you needed.
I think in all reality, you've actually had 10 years of trailers leading up to this point.
Yeah.
So,
the movie of Infinity War itself is a trailer.
Yeah. So a couple more things here and there, which kind of shows you a little too much for some people. Definitely is something that they did not need to do.
I think the first 2 trailers were fine, and especially the second one because it kind of it showed a lot of past footage, like in the black and white that they had. And that was all fine. It was well done. It was the most recent one, which is the one where the tickets went on sale, where it showed a moment between Captain America and Iron Man, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, kind of like shaking hands, and he's asking him, "Do you trust me?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." Just showing that moment in the trailer, I didn't like it. I liked seeing it, but I would have rather experienced that in the theater while the movie was playing. They're kind of reuniting reconciliation between each other after Civil War.
You actually just had both Z and Noob-Noob remove their headsets here because they didn't want to hear the conversation that you were just having. I do fully agree with you on that. You did not need to see that much. That's where you went a little beyond, especially after the way the first 2 trailers were set up. But yeah, it definitely there is a point that you need to stop showing footage and just let the movie speak for itself.
Maybe we can ask Kenny a question here a little off. So I've seen the teaser trailers, and it seems to be a debate between us. Do you know the point where Thor puts his hand near Captain Marvel's head, and the thing comes to his hand, and he goes, "Oh, I like this one," or what have you? We've seen it a couple of times. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Is that the hammer or is it the axe? Because I feel like I've seen it 2 different ways now, and I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it 2 different ways also. I'm not 100% on that, but I remember the first time it was the hammer.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think
the wooden handle was not there, and it definitely did have a different look to it. They've also been notorious.
It's a TV spot. I don't know if it's a TV spot, but I remember one with the axe too.
Well, they are also notorious for changing things in the trailers to keep people guessing. So
they did admit that. They said they have deliberately been lying in the trailers to not spoil things. So I don't know.
Oh, and another thing that I forgot, but the second trailer, which I think all of y'all have seen, but just showing Tony Stark with him at the end was a huge spoiler.
Yeah, because they did the tease early on
that he's
where
walking
he's in
with
space.
them.
Yeah.
A huge but expected spoiler. Like that one was like very clear as day. Like that motherfucker wasn't dying in space.
Yeah, you know he's coming back, but you don't know. Like, could you imagine
a big deal about it too?
Them killing Tony Stark off in the first 15 minutes? Like that could have been a possibility.
Oh, I would have.
You wouldn't have known.
Pants.
But now you know, so that possibility is off the table.
Yeah.
So I just think it's more interesting to leave stuff a little bit more open. But
I do agree with the no trail. They literally could have done no trailers. It would have been a marketing, like something totally that we've never seen before. And I think people would have been happy with it regardless.
It's just you're not going to get away with that with Disney. I mean, they're not they're not gonna. I think if it was up to the Russo brothers and the people that made it, you wouldn't have. But yeah, you got Disney and they got to promote that stuff. So
I agree.
I just think it would have been an unprecedented like style to go for a movie, like a movie so big you don't even need a fucking trailer. Like that would have gone down in history.
I don't think they would have lost any money at all.
Nah, they do have that.
To be honest, yeah.
And so I guess our next question is kind of a two-pronged one. So obviously everyone knows that Disney has become a super monopoly and acquired Fox, which comes with a bunch of characters. Yeah. And one of those characters is wildly popular, is Deadpool. So do you think Deadpool should be an Avenger?
I don't at all. I don't want to see him in those movies at all.
Well, fuck you.
I like him doing his own thing. Yeah. I think maybe for a fun end credit scene, maybe. I don't want him to be a part of that universe, though. I don't want him to be in the movies with them breaking the fourth wall and cracking jokes. I think that takes away from what the MCU is. And I just think he operates better on his own in his own world and universe.
That's
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I posed this question to Elliot from Movie Files. Do you think it would be good if they did a post-credit scene, like the very last credit scene of Deadpool coming in with like a fourth wall breaking joke, like, what the fuck took so long, or Thanos is a bitch or something like that. So you don't think that would have worked? Yeah,
I wouldn't have an issue with that. And you throw Hugh Jackman in there too or something, do a fun post-credit scene. I think that could be pretty fun. The MCU's not like opposed to doing that kind of stuff in their end credit scenes, just like the Captain America post credit scene. I think in Spider-Man: Homecoming, that was pretty fourth wall breaking, but
that was a great one.
Yeah,
but that would have been fun.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite post credit scene of any MCU movie.
But something like that could be fun for Endgame, I'm sure. But to put it at the end of Infinity War, that would have been a huge mistake.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think I would save it. I don't know if I'd do it for him. It just depends on how Endgame ends, really. What the mood is, if it feels right to do that.
Yeah, but going off what you said, I think I agree with you. I'd rather see these characters show up in Deadpool's universe than Deadpool to invade their universe.
Yeah, excellent. I think that works a lot better. Like when they had the other X-Men come into the Deadpool movie, I thought that was all that stuff worked really well in Deadpool 2. But yeah, to have him go into a movie that's supposed to be more serious, I don't think that works as well. Like, yeah, it'd be funny, but I think it kind of takes away from any of the more serious moments you would have in the movie.
Yeah, I feel overall, like it definitely depends on the tone of the end of Endgame, for sure.
Yeah.
But this is a side question. I'm just trying to poll everybody here, especially because I want to get someone to support me for sure. Now, for Infinity War, what do you think would have been the more impactful ending? The ending that we got. Shut the fuck up, Scott. Or if it ended right at the snap, the very great and chilling ending that it should have been.
I think the ending that we got was the best ending.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
So far, you're batting zero there, Noob-Noob.
If they showed just the snap, I think you would have had just an uproar. I mean, I think that people would have been so pissed. I know I would have. There has to be some kind of payoff. Because it's like, what does he snap? And like, you don't know what happens. You don't know. Like, I think it was much more impactful to show what happened, and then to have to deal with those.
For the next year, maybe he goes into a Grease single. You don't know. You have to wait a year for that, or maybe everyone dies.
So we've been confirming this for almost a year now. Noob, you're still an idiot.
Correct.
But to see all of them slowly disappear, like, that was just much more heart wrenching, and it kind of just got inside you. And the way they didn't play any music, it felt like all the air was sucked out of the room. Like, that whole sequence was just amazing. Like, I thought if they didn't show that, it wouldn't have the same impact.
It was the one time it was the loudest silence I've ever heard.
Yeah, like nobody said a word during that part, and people left the theater. Like my theater was quiet. Like nobody was saying anything walking out.
Were there any post-credit scenes to that movie?
The post-credit
Yeah,
scene
there was
Sam Jackson.
Oh,
with
that's
the,
right. That's right.
The pager.
That's right. The pager.
There was only one because they didn't do the mid-credit scene. They only did the one at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because there's debate over whether or not there's going to be any end credit scenes in this one. So we'll see.
I think it would be a huge disappointment if there wasn't.
I think you're a huge disappointment for not agreeing with my prospect of ending on the snap. So we're no longer super best friends. I don't give a fuck if your favorite dinosaur is the Velociraptor. So doesn't really matter.
Oh, it absolutely is. No, actually, I was always a Dilophosaurus kind of guy.
Wow.
Just disappointment.
The way he took out.
Just breaking your heart.
Yeah, the way he took out Newman from Seinfeld. Yeah, that was awesome.
This is a personal attack on me. I don't really know if I can continue this podcast anymore. So
it's about time.
Oh, wow. Fuck you, Scott. So Jesus Christ. So our final question is going to be forward thinking. So what do you feel that the future of Marvel is going to be with their acquisition of Fox, like we mentioned, and moving forward? Like, how do you view that going forward after Endgame?
Well, it's I'm not huge into like comic books, so I don't know a lot of the storylines that they have planned. I've heard people talk about Secret Wars, something like that. But if they have Fantastic Four, X-Men, I mean, it would be cool to start slowly integrating those. I don't know how you work in the entire X-Men universe into the Marvel universe so quickly, but it would definitely be interesting to see. I think your best bet's probably Fantastic Four, trying them first.
Yeah, you're right. The X-Men universe is huge, so it's kind of like, how do you dump that in there?
In my mind, it works kind of like Deadpool better on its own, but it's still going to be cool to see Wolverine, Cyclops, Professor X, interacting with everybody in the MCU. But then again, like, who's going to be left in the MCU for them to interact with? That's the question.
Good point.
Yeah, I think there's going to be the 5 years after Endgame is going to be kind of a reflux of everything. They're going to be resetting, and then beyond that, they're probably going to have a new train of Avengers movies and X-Men and Fantastic Four,
Young Avengers,
all that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So who knows?
It's going to be interesting to see, like, in the next 5 to 10 years, how they because if they're going to kill off Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, whoever they kill off in Endgame, like, how are they going to reboot them back into the franchise that they want to keep going? Like, how is that going to look? Are they just going to start straight over again, or are they going to work their current universe into rebooting those old characters?
There's a lot of people are terrified at this prospect because it's been 10 years building up to this point, and what happens afterwards?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have enough characters to carry it on for a while, but when do you get those characters that? Because obviously Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, like, they're all super popular. So when do you start bringing them back in if you're going to get rid of them now?
Yeah, it'll be an interesting. Obviously they're definitely going to do it at some point, but who knows what the hell Kevin Feige is going to do. So, but either way, it's going to make a fuck ton of money. So it'll be good. So
yeah, it definitely will.
But yeah, that's kind of where we wanted to leave off. So we just kind of wanted to hit everything with Avengers, and we want to thank you again, Kenny. If anyone doesn't know, he is at Midlevel. Jesus, motherfucking
You're the
Christ.
worst at this.
You're the worst
It's
at
actually
this.
Midlevel Files.
Mid-level
Mid-level
movie
files.
files
Mid-level file
Yeah.
movie
at
reviews.
Pikachu.com.
Me and Elliot have a joint page now.
Yes. There's a video on YouTube at scissorfest.com where they just finger each other right in the butthole.
Jesus Christ.
So that's hot as fuck. I watched it 17 times.
Took it
my-
too far, man.
Jeez.
There
But
you go.
in all
Yes,
serious,
you took it too far.
Jesus. Yeah, too far, not far enough. I want pictures. But no, in all seriousness, Mid-Level Movie Reviews at Instagram. He also has another website, letterboxd.com/midlevel
Yeah, I'm on Letterboxd now.
MR. I don't know what Letterbox is, but I'm reading your Instagram page, so it's probably cool.
I'm trying to gain my following on that account as well. So,
Yeah, you're definitely doing a better job than we are. For sure.
I try, man.
You
Spend
definitely
way too much time on this stuff.
I feel like you don't, but you're still much better than us, which is more power to you because we obviously are doing something wrong. I want to say
Trust me, I do.
Z and Scott's fault because I'm awesome. Yeah, so Kenny, is there anything you want to plug? Any new posts, new websites, reviews, anything at all? This is your time to shine.
Well, I got a Game of Thrones series going on my page right now. I'm counting down the top 8 moments of Game of Thrones. I'm going to be doing a Game of Thrones kind of recap review post after every show for the 8th season. Obviously, I'm going to be reviewing Endgame probably the night of. And, yeah, that's about it. Just follow me at Midlevel Movie Reviews, and I got posts daily. So, about everything. All the new releases. All the movies.
Didn't you have a question about who was the Game of Thrones and Marvel thing? Didn't you have one last question, or did you forget that one? There, Noob-Noob.
What the fuck are you?
Or did I miss that?
I don't know.
About the throne?
Which Avenger will be sitting on the throne?
Oh, yes, that's right. We totally forgot about that. I drink too much. Yeah, so what Avenger will be sitting on the throne? The Iron Throne.
That's easy. It's Thanos. Absolutely. With the glove and everything.
That's fair.
That's the coolest image.
That is true.
Hmm.
Like to see that purple shaft just
Yeah,
sitting
it has
on
to be
throne.
that.
Thanos.
Or
in Thanos, we
yeah,
trust.
with the Night King in his lap.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Thanos did nothing wrong.
God, that'd be a great Game of Bones sequel for the third one. Just Thanos just giving it to the Night King. Full deep throat. Like, he
Okay.
can't
All
even-
right,
you're out of
dude. All
control.
right, stop.
We're cutting you
Yeah,
off.
absolutely.
We did not
Noob-Noob.
need. We did not need this interview going this way.
Too many
Noob-Noob.
cherries
Stop.
for me. But yes, so thank you so much, Kenny from Midlevel Movie Reviews. I got it right this time, so thank you. He's great. I've been following him since we've been following him since we've started this podcast. If you haven't followed him yet, you should go do so. He has great reviews, great content. And thank you so much for coming on, and we look forward to bringing you back on to see
Thank
what your
you
thoughts.
guys for having me on. I appreciate it. It's always a fun time. So I'll be promoting y'all stuff on my page and appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Kenny.
you. And we'll see you next time after Avengers releases.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, see you, man.
Bye.
Well, as usual, Noob-Noob took that one way off.
too far.
Way too far.
Way too far.
What happened to you? You just
Not
you lost
far
your
enough.
mind?
Just all of a sudden, he just like went off the gay end. It was like there was a diving board.
Well, that's okay,
It was
though.
a
He's
diving
allowed
board
to do
into like vanilla pudding, and he just went full head first.
Now, am I the only one that thinks vanilla pudding actually tastes like banana pudding? Am
No,
I the
you just-
only person?
No idea what you're talking
You
about.
just need to remember to peel those bananas before you put them in
I
your mouth.
love bananas so much.
Well, we're just getting all tingly for Avengers Endgame.
I'm
and
honestly sweating right now.
for Avengers Endgame.
That and because I did too much planking earlier.
You never know what you're going to get on this
You never
podcast between
know.
planking and push-ups and drinking
the planking
and
and push-up challenge. We should have filmed that.
smoking chickens. Yeah, we could have
Our content is consistently inconsistent, much like the 76ers.
Yes, and we don't post as much content as is
The
available to
76ers?
us. We just don't post it. So
Yeah.
our little secret, I guess.
I blame Noob-Noob.
Probably.
Is there anything we have to do here? What's
plug shit?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
we plug things.
of course, if you like what you heard here, you can follow us on Instagram at @ork_u. You can follow us on Facebook.com/OurReviewsWillKillYou. You can follow us on YouTube if you just go on and search Our Reviews Will Kill You. And you can always give us a number. We're hoping to hear from some of you, especially with what's coming up. Avengers people, let's get you to call in and see what your thoughts were.
Or just leave us nasty messages and, we feel terrible about ourselves. 866-777-ORKU. Again, that number, 866-777-ORKU.
And of course, go over to ScottWillKillYou.com for the latest content and links and videos and fun things. Always new stuff going on there at ScottWillKillYou.com. Because yes, at ScottWillKillYou.com, Scott will kill you with content.
You know what I thought of? It's actually OrkU with a K, and I never say that. And it's Ork, not traditional Ork. Like
shit!
Oh,
so people have been calling the wrong goddamn
number. That's what
number.
it might be. It's ORKU.
Like kill. Our reviews will kill you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. You know what? In every episode, I say Instagram or ork_u, ORK_u at Instagram.
85 episodes. We never thought of that.
Yeah, we never thought of that. And we also have some giveaways for the fans, so keep an ear out for that.
Yeah. And for the 37th time, if you haven't followed Movie Files on Instagram or Midlevel Movie Reviews, you should do that, or I'll be upset with you.
Yes.
Sexually.
Noob-Noob will come and, I
won't provide mouth favors.
And
that's
after
for
this
sure.
episode, it's very obvious which direction Noob-Noob goes.
I provide
sexually.
Well, that's not. That's fair, actually.
So, from all of us here at OrkU, and thanks again to Movie Files and Mid-Level Movie Reviews, we love y'all.